Hello, guys. It is me, Joey, and today I am here with my doggo. Here's Odin. Say hi, buddy. Boop. Uh, Here's my doggo. He's a crazy boy. But today I'm here to review Widow's Point by Richard Chizmar and Billy Chizmar, which I actually just finished in one sitting. This is a um about 138-page novella, I believe. Yeah, it's a novella by Richard Chizmar and Billy Chizmar. This released, I think it was 2017. I don't want to. I will make sure to have it in the title. Anyways, this book is about a guy named Thomas Livingston who goes to the Widow's Point lighthouse in Harper's Cove, Nova Scotia, which I actually live a province away from Nova Scotia, which is kind of funny. So, and I've passed through some of the weird lighthouses there. So I found that kind of interesting, so anyways, Thomas Livingston, he goes there because he's heard about all the hauntings and terrible things that have gone on at this lighthouse, such as murders, suicides, and alleged paranormal experiences. He locks himself in with the whole idea of recording a bunch of audio and to get proof that maybe there's possibly something here. He is looking for the next big hit for his career because he was a writer, and he wants to be big again. That is until, of course, his 3 night stay at Widow's Point doesn't go as planned. That's all I can say. It's a novella, and it recites basically half the history of the Widow's Point before, well, shit hits the fan. I have to say, I'm not the hugest fan of Richard Chizmar's other works. I've never read a story by Billy, which is his son. But Richard Chizmar, he was an editor. He's written for a lot of anthologies. He's edited and owns Cemetery Dance Publications. He's good friends with like Stephen King and those people. He's even co-written 2 books with Stephen King, 2 books in the Gwendy trilogy. The second book was written just by Chizmar, but I've read a couple of his books before, and I'm not really the hugest fan per se. Like, he's okay. Like, he's pretty passable. I think his writing style is pretty meh. His editing on other people's work is really good, but as a writer, I think he's been kind of mediocre, and his movies are not really that great either, in my opinion. I haven't seen the Widow's Point movie, which he just produced, but Craig Sheffer from Nightbreed, the guy who plays Boone, is in that movie, which is funny. So I'll have to check it out. It's on Tubi. But so I went into this with some hesitation. It was a 99 cents. And I hear it was like one of his better books. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a read. And also, it's written by Billy Chizmar as well. I don't know much about Billy's writing. I've never read a Billy book before. I'm assuming his style is similar to his father's because I couldn't really tell the difference between whose style is who. Um, but I have to say, I actually overall really enjoyed this book. This might be my favorite Chizmar book. Um, it's not perfect. I do have some issues with it, but I'll go ahead and say it's a 4 out of 5 read. I read this book in one sitting. So that must mean something. So I give it a 4 out of 5. And the reason I give it a 4 out of 5 and not higher is because the first 2/3 of the book are really, really good, and then the last third just feels like they're just kind of throwing words at a page. Um, that's what that is, like when shit hits the fan, but like they just keep repeating sections, and then it's like, and then once you like read that section, you're like, yeah, this is where it's going. So, but then the actual ending's pretty good. Um, Kind of like an open-ended feeling. Um, So yeah, I did really enjoy this book, but I didn't really like the last third that much, which is why it's not higher than a 4 out of 5. Um, yeah, I'm actually I was actually surprised by that I enjoyed this, but and I do recommend it, and it's just a short read, and you'll get through it for Halloween, and I got this for 99 cents, and I know in the States, Chizmar announced that it's on everywhere's and on ebook for 99 cents as well. And another reason I started to read this is because Chizmar, this is one of his first, I guess you could say more mainstream books. I shouldn't really say that mainstream because it's still not. I've never seen this in a Chapters or like a Walmart or something. But this is like one of the first books that like I really heard about and by Chizmar. And then after that, he wrote the Gwendy's Button Box and Magic Feather and Final Task, which he wrote two of those, which was Button Box and Final Task with King. And then there's the movie that came out, which took a while, and he was passionate about that movie. And then recently, every time I go to Walmart and Chapters, his newest novel, Chasing the Boogeyman, is always there, and here is actually good books. I don't know. I haven't read Chasing the Boogeyman, but it could be good. Um, but yeah, for a guy I'm not really a big fan of, I did really enjoy this book. Uh, and it's probably one that I'll think about for a little while. Is it one that'll be in my top favorites? No, it's really just an average book, but I did enjoy it, and I do recommend checking it out. Um, and I think I've talked to Chizmar about this book once. I've because he's on Instagram, and Chizmar responds to a lot of his followers. Well, probably one of the few people that I'm aware of that does of his caliber. But yeah, I'll probably eventually check out more of Richard's books and maybe even Billy's because I did enjoy this book and I feel like it's worth reading. If more of his books are of this kind of quality, feel free to let me know because I actually did really enjoy this. But yeah, thank you for watching, and that was just a quick book review of Widow's Point by Richard Chizmar and Billy Chizmar.